What's going on, guys? This is Redline here, bringing you guys another Outriders build video. This is my Technomancer Cryo turret build. I've been wanting to make a turret build for the Technomancer for a while, and I finally was able to put one together to solo that you can solo with and use to clear CT-15. A few notable facts about this build: is good for solo play, for solo build farming, and group play. Uh, you're gonna have some pretty strong turrets, like they can you know pretty much take out you know elites, brood mothers, those type of enemies by themselves. Um, this build is very different. It's outside the meta, which I love. It's very fun and engaging as well. You can go with some CT-15s, but not all of them. Uh, Also, this build requires a good bit of T3 mods as well. And I will say that this build is a little bit easier to use versus monsters than they are regular humans and like captains and whatnot. If the regular enemies, the captains, once they get real close to your turret, they just pretty much one shot it. One swipe and it's gone, which going to make you a little bit more vulnerable than a little bit more vulnerable without your turrets out there. So let's get into the skills and the skill tree. The skills you're going to be using the cryo turret, the tool of destruction, and the blighted turret. The tool of destruction is not necessarily a requirement for this build, but when I was trying to figure out like what would be a good third skill to use, the tool of destruction came to mind, and I only needed two mods for the tool of destruction to be effective. So that's why I chose the tool of destruction. But if you can if you could think of something else you might want to use, maybe you want to use the cold snap or shrapnel. You probably give blighted rounds a go. But yeah, tool of destruction seems to be the most effective. Um, to me. So let's get into the class tree. As you can see, it's set up a little bit different than what you might be used to seeing. So we're gonna go with first up. We're gonna do take the anomaly route, the demolisher. Got an anomaly power here. Resistance piercing 15%. Anomaly power. Another resistance, or this is resistance by 20%. Anomaly fuel increasing anomaly power by 6%. And we're gonna do a generalizing antenna. Activating decay skills increases anomaly power for you and your allies by 30% for 10 seconds. And then we're going to go up to wipe out. Enemies below 30% health receive 20% more damage. And then anomalous body, increase your health by 10%. Fracture, enemies afflicted with freeze receive 10% more damage. Gadgeteer, reduce gadget skill cooldowns by 15%. Another anomalous body, and then we're going to go ahead exposing frost. Every time freeze is afflicted on an enemy, vulnerable status is afflicted as well. And then we're going to continue down in the demolisher with ordnance technician. Reduce ordnance skills by cooldown by 15%. And then anomaly power. Another resistance piercing by 15. Increase your resistance piercing by 15%. Anomaly power, and then team player, decrease at least damage against you and your allies by 10%. Anomaly power, and then tech bond, activated ordnance skills increases anomaly power by 50% for 10 seconds. So we're going to be activating this with the tool of destruction, and we're going to be activating this one with the blighted turret. So let's get into the weapons and the gear. I'm using the death shield and the funeral power for the shadow comet and fortress on both. You can run a pistol. I have this pistol here with I put moaning winds on it. Um, in case you get into a like a corner or a bind or something like that, you can use moaning winds to get some of those enemies off of you, because once they get hit with moaning winds, they either stagger backwards, or they get completely demolished. Uh, You know. So some of y'all might be wondering why I'm not using the Borealis set. since I'm using cryo turrets and everything is on freeze. Well, the reason being is because with the bonus, with the Borealis set bonus, it's increased weapon damage on frozen enemies by 90%. And this is not a weapon focused build, so that's why we're not using this set because it just increases the weapon damage uh, on frozen enemies. If it said if it increased just damage period on frozen enemies by 90%, that'd be different. But it's only weapon damage, and this is not a weapon focused build. So as you can see, I'm running all purples. Um, let's start out with the helmet. I have nominal power, cooldown reduction, long range damage with ice component, blighted turret. The turret now inflicts freeze instead of toxic, and demolition man. Tool of destruction. Each rocket deals 113,079 more damage. The chest piece, anomaly power, close range damage, and status power. The first mod is increased damage cryo turret. Every turret shot deals an extra 5,493 damage. And I have the tier 3 mod, Unstoppable Force. Increases your anomaly power by 50% of your resistance piercing. So, as you can see, I have resistance piercing here, 15%. And I have resistance piercing here, 15%. So that's 30% total. And 50% of that is obviously 15. So, this just is going to increase my anomaly power by an extra 15%, pretty much. And then I have the pants, anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and skill life leech. I have the tier 3 mod twins, cryo turret. 2 turrets can be placed before triggering a cooldown, and I have freezing boost. Boost your damage against enemies afflicted with freeze by 15%. Um, I'm actually looking for well, I'm gonna get into it in a minute. The gloves, anomaly power, status power, and cooldown reduction. And then I have bang for your buck, tool of destruction. Activated skill grants 100% base damage, increase base ammo increase for the selected tool. And then I have Captain Hunter in my second slot. And I have the boots, anomaly power, cooldown reduction, skill life leech. First mod is bonus duration, cryo turret, extend the turret's duration by 30%. And then the second mod is better parts, blighted turret increases the turret duration by 50%. Yeah, with the pants, I'm actually looking for a different pair of pants. Um, with with anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and skill life leech. But I want one of these T1 mods to be in one of the slots. So if I can get better parts, if I can get the better parts mod on the pants to be the first node, I will be able to edit. I mean, I'll be able to change out the freezing boost and put in shatter, which is pretty much the same as freezing boost, but instead of 15%, it's 25%. So if I can get if you have a pair of pants with or just any one of these pieces with better parts, and I would switch out, like I said, I would switch out freezing boost for shatter, and then I put the twins mod second, second on the boots. So yeah. So for every encounter, well, first thing you want to do is if you have all three of them up, first thing you want to do is activate your tool of destruction, throw out your turret, and then throw out your cryos. When you do that, you're gonna see your anomaly power go up to 269k, and then they're gonna be doing at least maximum damage for right now. Oh. Also, as a side note, I forgot to mention this. When you're searching for purple gear, you want to initially look for anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and either status power or skill life leech. So I have skill life leech here, status power, and then skill life leech here. I'm looking for some better pieces as well. I have anomaly power, cooldown, and long range damage. You don't need long range damage, and I have close range damage here. You don't need close range damage. So I need to get anomaly power and cooldown in those two spots. So that's what you want to be looking for. So let's get into some tips. on how to run the build. Tip number one, you are not alone. You have 3 turrets in your arsenal. There should be no reason why they ain't out there. Just think of it like this. You don't want to be out there getting jumped, and your 3 friends is there, but they're not helping. So make sure your turrets is out there at all times. And you know, they out there to fight for you. They out there to do damage. They out there to take out enemies. They out there to keep you they out there to give you room to breathe. You know, to take out ads if you need to, reload, because the shotguns that I'm using reload really slow. So at times I needed them to keep these dudes distracted while I reloaded. So, and you can see that's gonna come in handy a whole lot. Also, they're gonna draw a lot of aggro from enemies, especially the behemoths. The behemoths seem to be a lot easily distracted than most enemies. So during this fight, you can see that I'm pretty much gonna go the whole fight between these two without them even taking a look at me. And they can hold their own too, so they take lots and lots of damage from the behemoths. And if you keep them refreshed, the behemoths are gonna stay distracted anyway. And you're gonna see that they take out pretty good chunks of damage off of those behemoths as well. So they hit pretty hard. Also during this gameplay, when I got started to get irritated or surrounded by the smaller enemies, it gave me time to take out the smaller ads as well. And look at that, was able to take both of them out. During this fight with this brood mother, I wanted to see how long it would take for them to take her out with the little bit of health she had left. So I sat there and I didn't shoot another shot, and I mean, it took just a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden, she was out of there. Tip number 2, distance is the key. Now, I know this may sound pretty self-explanatory, especially playing in this game, but with this build, you do not want to get yourself surrounded by enemies or trapped in a corner. Try to stay in the open space as much as possible. Know where you are on the map and stay active as much as possible. There's been plenty of expeditions that I've done where I've died because I got knocked into a corner, or I didn't know that I was backed into a wall or something like that. So you got to be very careful when it comes to playing this build. Now, if you start to see it get a little crowded, make sure you find an open space and run towards it. Try to get all the enemies in front of you, and as you run, throw down your turrets so that they can possibly keep some distraction as you're running away. So as you can see, I got 2 brood mothers, and I see those small enemies are trying to surround me. So what I do, I run away, throw my turrets down as I run, turn around, I got them all in front of me, and I'm able to take them out. So now I just got the brood mothers in front of me. It helps me control the situation and to make sure that I'm not surrounded and that I don't have too many things going on. As you can see, I dodged one of them, and I realize I'm in between both of them, which is not good. So what I do, I run into some open space, throw my turrets back down, and now I'm back in control of the situation because they're in front of me. So that's pretty much the build. The only negatives I would say about it is that, like I mentioned before, it's not the fastest way to clear expeditions. You're gonna get some silver, you're gonna get some gold. You're a little bit more squishy than other Technomancer builds. It's not heavy reliant on T3 mods, but it's relying on T3 mods. Also, there's a weird thing that happens when you're switching from your rocket to your gun. There's supposed to be a switch out animation, but if you happen to interrupt it, due to the combat, then you're not gonna have. I think the switch out takes like 1 second or 1.5 seconds, something like that. But if you interrupt that animation, you're not gonna have the gun in your hand until that 1 second or 1.5 second is up. So just be wary of that. in case you think you think your game is glitched or whatever. It kind of throw me off because I'll be trying to shoot instantly right after my rocket goes and nothing comes out, and then my gun will show up like a second later. So if you're having trouble getting some T3 mods, right? So for Unstoppable Force. Unstoppable Force is easy to get. A lot of y'all may not have this mod, probably even overlooked it, but you can get this Unstoppable Force from a Pyromancer piece that Tiago is selling. I'm not sure which. I want to say it's like some gloves or boots or something, but anyway, you'll see it when you go over to him as a Pyromancer. He'll be selling a legendary piece with this mod on it. Just buy it, break it down, and you got it. This mod also works really good on Devastators. And I'm not sure about the Trickster, but I know that the Technomancer and the Devastator are two classes that I know that have two resistant piercing nodes under one class or whatever, under one area. So this works. This mod also works really good for Devastators. Twins. This might be the hardest mod to get for y'all if y'all don't already have it. Twins drops on the Borealis helmet. Of course, it gives you the two turrets. If you don't have if you don't have Twins as a T3 mod to use, what I personally suggest is that you use a survivability mod. You could also use Hellshot, which Cryo Turret increases the turret's damage based off of status power. But I probably wouldn't recommend this because if you don't have status power on everything you got, then the increase is not going to be that much at all, and I think it'd be a waste of mod. So I would suggest that you look for a survivability mod, that you're comfortable with using. Damage Absorber. What is it at? Damage Absorber. Ice Trap is good. What else? Of course, Emergency Stance. Just whichever survivability mod that you feel comfortable with. That's what I would suggest if you don't have Twins as a T3 mod. And Captain Hunter. If you don't have Captain Hunter, well, you more than likely you will have Captain Hunter because, especially if you've gotten a good amount of cannonball pieces. I think the Captain Hunter mod drops on the cannonball gloves. So if you have a pair of those, just break those down and you'll get the Captain Hunter mod. So yeah, that's about it. One more thing to point out. So I don't know if it's just this expedition or if it's in other expeditions, but you may find yourself at times when you're running this build that you're gonna throw your turrets out, and for some odd reason they're gonna fall into the ground. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know why the expedition is good like that, but they fall straight into the ground. And of course, if you don't have your turrets out, then it's gonna negatively affect your survivability. So I don't know why this is happening, but I had to, on this level, I decided to try to throw it in a different area. I throw it on the concrete, and they stayed, so they popped up. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully people can fly, knows about this, and can fix it ASAP. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. This is going to be the Behemoth / Crawler part of Stargrave. Hopefully this will be enough to, motivate you guys to try this build out. And you can see this build in action, in game, to see how powerful the turrets are and how everything just works in conjunction. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, you can try to make this build up, try it yourself, see if you like it. If you enjoyed everything you saw, please like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And with that being said, man, Redline out.